Greg with Cadre. The video discussion today, we will be covering the Occluded Optic. I've been getting a lot of correspondence through social media to find out what it is, how do you do it, is it worth it, is it a good technique. Due to social media, everyone thinks that this is just something that came about here recently, but in all actuality, I was introduced to the technique back in the late 90s in the Army. What is the Occluded Optic? It seems to be all over social media. A lot of people think it's a new term, new technique, and in all honesty, it's not. I was introduced to the technique back in the late 90s in the Army. We would use it with the 4-power ACOGs on top of our M4s. What that allowed us to do is CQB and closer engagements. Again, this is prior to the EOTechs being out. And the concept is, with the optic, you've got a cover in front of it. So when you look through it, you have to have target focus because you can't see anything. All you can see with your right eye, for right eye dominant individuals, is the red dot. And then it takes the left eye to superimpose the target, and then there again you're going to have target focus. Outstanding technique. I still use it to this day. I train with it. I train new shooters with it. So what we're going to do is push some videos in here. I'm going to be shooting it from 10 yards, 20 yards, and to 50 yards. I've heard a lot of people talk about occluded optics, but I've yet to see them push the distance out. And I believe after the videos, you'll see you can actually be extremely accurate with an occluded optic. Here is the occluded optic. I've actually placed some blue painter's tape on my Trigicon SRO, placed it on the front. You can still see the dot, but you can't see through the optic. I've also taken the cover that ships with your Delta Point Pro. I've modified it to where now I can just slide it on. Works great for dry fire, go to the range. Zero issues with it thus far. But again, it's a tip to use in your toolbox.
Okay guys, we're at 10 yards. And as you can tell, we're unable to see through the optic. The occluded optic is allowing us to maintain target focus. We're not concerned about bullseye shooting here. All I'm trying to do is get a proper cadence to see how the pistol and the optic reacts. As you can see, at 10 yards with the occluded optic, we're still able to maintain solid groups. Next, we push the target out to 20 yards to attempt to shoot a solid group, maintaining target focus. One thing you'll notice is at distance you perceive less movement through the optic. Again, allowing for some solid groups. Finally, we push the target out to the max distance at the range. I've yet to see anyone shoot an occluded optic at distance, so I wanted to try to see what we could do with it. That last shot was a called shot to the left, so I reassessed and came back into it. As you can see, there's a strong right to left gust of wind at the range, so it blew the ground to the left.
Final thoughts. I like the technique. I think it's invaluable, especially for new shooters and old shooters alike. Newer shooters, when you're trying to train them to shoot with both eyes open, this will actually force them to it. Same thing with older shooters. I still like it to every so often when I go to the range, my first mag through the weapon, I'll occlude the optic. It forces me to maintain target focus. And then, as in the video, you can actually see, even with occluded optic, you can still get accurate engagements out to 50 yards. It did not cause an issue with it. Another thing I see invaluable with the occluded optic is during a bright range or bright sunshine, whereas with a standard optic, you could get some wash or actually see the phantom dot. Using an occluded optic will cut that down, so now you're just seeing the dot. Hopefully this answered a lot of the questions. The demonstration showed you the capabilities of it, the technique. It should be here to stay. It's been here for 20 plus years as is. Again, guys, please like, subscribe, share the video. If you have questions on the occluded optic, or you want to see more videos like this, leave them in the comments below and I'll get them out there to you.